I think the way we can answer this is by looking at three different areas. First of all, the talent, the fresh talent is really mitigating the newly retired. So now in 2023, obviously the baby boomers have begun to enter the retirement market, right? So as they do so, then we really need to focus on the Gen Zs. They're the ones that are entering the workforce today. They will be replacing approximately 3.6 million baby boomers who plan to be retiring this year, globally, of course. And so, as baby boomers are leaving the market and the Gen Zers are entering the market, this gives us as employers the opportunity to match the newcomers with the newly opened functions that are left by the retirees. So that's point number one. So point number two is then, how do we ensure that we're able to provide them with the attractive career opportunities whereby we can benefit from their capabilities as an organization? So Gen Zs, as we know, are increasingly tech proficient, right? And also the requirements of the workforce and the work environment today requires that everybody is tech proficient and requires that we have a higher level of tech savviness within the organization. So unlike other generations, Gen Zs grow up after the technology boom and they're naturally tech savvy. You know, they're using all of the updated digital tools as a way of life anyway. They typically pay more attention to the ways that we attract them, the online portals, the way that we project ourselves as a company, the kind of employee value propositions we offer, and also the employee experience that we offer as well. So this is something that we have to focus on as an organization to be able to attract this talent pool. To get these roles and set themselves apart, this generation is really responding to the new ways of attracting them, and they're not responding to the traditional hiring criteria we used to have before of having long-winded, endless numbers of interviews, the 5 and 10 interviews. They're expecting to be attracted, assessed, and hired within a short period of time. Having lengthy interview processes and so on and so forth would not be attracting this generation or these talents. That's number two. Number three is we need to start to focus on also different majors. So previously, the majority of companies were focusing on STEM-based majors and believing that to attract or to identify top technical talent, you should only be focusing on these areas. By STEM, obviously, we mean the scientific and engineering areas and the mathematical areas and so on and so forth. Now, this is no longer the case. I've noticed that from a number of people we've been interviewing over the past, I would even go back as saying the past 10 years, and more so the past 5 years, additional majors that are more focused on business school majors, analytics-based majors, communications, marketing, even languages, and as far as political science. The majority of our capable Gen Z talent have been studying these majors of late, and they haven't been focusing on the previous STEM-based majors. So for companies who are still only targeting, going to campuses that only focus on STEM-based majors, I would recommend that they stop doing that and allow the opportunity for others, because we found that we were able to find talent of a higher level from the other majors that I've just mentioned. So they're really the areas that I feel we need to focus on for 2023. So mobilization of internal talent is something of utmost importance, I believe, not just for us at Petromin Corporation. So at Petromin Corporation, we're a company that today hosts over 6,000 employees across 40 countries and also across 5 regions. So for us, mobilization of internal talent is of utmost importance. Now, putting aside the requirements of the different countries in terms of legislative requirements for being able to transfer talent across those countries, we are, other than that, very much focused on doing that, because only that way can you provide a career path and career growth for your employees. I've found often in internal talent mobility is overlooked in some organizations. They immediately want to focus on seeking attracting talent from external sources before thinking, first of all, of their internal talent. So at Petromin, we're striving our utmost to really look internally before we think externally. We have today 8 business verticals. So this obviously provides an opportunity for growth for employees across the company. When you're able to do that, then that in itself is an amazing retention tool for your talent. Having such a process in place. For example, we have an employee internal referral program. And internal referral programs in some companies only work for when you're referring somebody from outside of the company into the company. But for us at Petromin, we also apply the internal referral program for colleagues who refer other colleagues from other business verticals to for career opportunities. And this is very much an advantage. So it offers both us as an employer, our leaders and colleagues, of course, an opportunity to attract talent from within and for the talent to grow from within. It fosters competition across the different companies that we have, and obviously fosters competition amongst the employees within the organization. It also enhances the employee retention rates, as I mentioned earlier, and it reduces the recruitment fees, of course, the external recruitment fees. So, I mean, unless we're hiring for a very senior leadership role or where we've introduced a new business and we lack the current capabilities within the organization for hiring externally, only then do we branch outside and try to attract external talent. Indeed, we do want to keep abreast of the developments, in other companies, and we do want to ensure that we bring in a pipeline of fresh blood into the company periodically. But at the same time, we do our utmost to first of all try to hire from within, and then if we cannot find the right talent, only then do we go externally. So, as I said earlier, internal referral programs are some of the tools we use, internal job postings, and also when we post on LinkedIn, we also mention that internal applicants are preferred, because we have internal job posting boards and we use the external job posting boards because, as you know, sometimes, just in case an employee misses a post in-house, if they're looking at the external job posting board, then they're also able to see the positions there. And even when we are thinking of filling the position internally, we post it internally and externally, also to just maintain our positioning as an employee of choice, an employer of choice, and maintain our employee value proposition. So continuous marketing and communicating our career opportunities is something that we do, although we do strive to hire from within as the first point of sourcing. So I'd like to break down that question, first of all, into two steps. So one is the sourcing and hiring. So the source and hiring, the ways we source and hire today have definitely changed. And they have changed indefinitely, if I may say, versus the way companies previously recruited. Digital engagement today is very important, such as through platforms such as LinkedIn and other platforms, such as Facebook even, and other hiring portals. Attending and hosting events across different institutions, academic institutions. Hosting virtual events has now become also very important. Building close partnerships and engagements with local educational institutions has now become also very important for us at Petromin. Also becoming very dominant is the ways in which we attract our talent. So the actual marketing campaigns and the actual, digital media that we post online to attract those talents. So to attract today's early talents, it's all about engagement. It's engagement, and having constant presence, as across these portals that I just mentioned. This is really the way that we've been focusing on attracting our talents. So just this year, we've signed up a couple of very important MOUs with some of the top universities within our region in Saudi Arabia. As we focus on attracting, the majority of our talent that we focus on attracting rather are GCC locals, predominantly Saudis, but also we're very much focused on attracting international talent who has already been working in the region, because of course we need talent who are, irrespective of what nationality they are, we need talent who understand the market. As a multinational company, we are very much, as I said, focused on Saudization, but we are very much open to having a diverse and inclusive work culture in the company. And so having strong presence across, global hiring platforms as well as in Saudi Arabia is very important to us. Also, we will continue to adjust, right? So, we will continue to adjust the ways that we're trying to attract talent and pivot as talent needs change across the market. And I honestly foresee post-COVID-19, I know it's been now approximately a year and a half or so post-COVID, but employers have begun really to seek out more diverse talents from different backgrounds and talents who are more interested in working in a hybrid type model. So hybrid models allow companies to perform better. It also allows the employee to be more comfortable at working from different locations and so on and so forth. So you're kind of hitting two agendas, or not hitting. Let's say you are meeting the requirements of two agendas at the same time. So you are promoting a work-life balance for employees. You are promoting the new ways of working and future business models ways of working. And at the same time, you're able to attract the type of talent who have now over the past few years gotten used to working from home, gotten used to operating via this hybrid type of model. So that's how we attract the talent to make sure that we yield better matched candidates really to our company culture and to the needs of our company. And then comes the building the talent aspect of your question. So how do we build local talents? Now, our main focus at Petromin is enhancing our employer value proposition, as I mentioned earlier, as well as ensuring that we provide our employees that we've attracted with a high-level employee experience. Now, what does this include? This really includes the entire hire to retire cycle and ensuring that the entire hire to retire employee journey is a positive one. We have recently revamped our employee onboarding process. We have also introduced a new ERP system. So we've introduced Oracle Fusion, the human capital management system. We had a previous system before, which we've introduced now this new system, and obviously customized to our specific needs with a focus on ensuring that we maintain high-level employee experience. We also have internal, aside from the digital onboarding platform and programs, we also have face-to-face onboarding and induction programs for employees, because really that first experience when you enter a company is very important to making sure that the rest of their journey is a positive one. Also, as I mentioned earlier, to develop our talent, we're focusing on promoting work-life balance programs where we focus on employees, aside from learning and development opportunities, also providing for them healthcare development opportunities, mindfulness programs, health and wellness activities in the office. So really focusing on creating an engaging and therapeutic work environment for everyone is of utmost for us. We've even revamped the entire employee workspace into open plan space with different areas where people can engage and spend time together to brainstorm and so on and so forth. We've also introduced employee rewards and recognition programs this year via digital platforms as well. So this provides opportunities for the people managers to recognize their employees at a push of a button on a monthly basis. And this is obviously aside from the annual employee tenure rewards and employee service rewards that we have. In addition to that, we have introduced digital learning and development opportunities for all. We've introduced a learning platform called Roidia. It's actually a South African platform. Part South African, part Australian learning platform. Even through it, we reach out to employees. They can select their learning requirements. They can select to take them in certain bites and customize them in accordance to their daily requirements and their monthly requirements. And we also have digital newsletters communicated via that platform. Because of the industry that we're in, as I mentioned earlier, we have over 6,000 employees, and the majority of our employees are most of the time on the road. So most of our employees rather are field workers. And so having digital platforms and enabling them to have access to these platforms ensures that then they can access this information and these learning and development opportunities anytime, anywhere, any place. And you know, so for Petromin, this is of utmost importance, but I would also recommend that for similar industry companies, this is something that companies really need to focus on investing in for 2023 and beyond, of course. So from my perspective, analytical forecasting is key. So we need to first of all, we need to identify the specific areas for developing our talent to address our diversifying business landscape, specifically within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I would say, not just as a Saudi national, but you know, I'm very proud of what's going on in the kingdom right now. If I say it's, I would say the leader of change within the region. This could be a bit biased coming from me, but the best example really to explore here, and that for one to deliberate on here, is our beloved kingdom's Vision 2030. I'm sure you're familiar with Vision 2030, but as part of Vision 2030, the aim is really to enhance the kingdom's growth and sustainability agenda, focusing on a number of different areas to become an anchor of growth and change and sustainability across the Middle East. Now, what the Vision 2030 has done is that it has introduced 11 vision realization programs. We refer to them as VRPs. Now, these VRPs were really designed to ensure that the vision is translated into action plans or action deliverables. And out of those 11 programs, 6 are specifically designed to provide career opportunities for our Saudi nationals, Saudi talents, as well as prepare them for the newly developed industry sectors that Vision 2030 has introduced into the market and where it plans to provide growth. And to be honest, this is simply put, this is a perfect example really to show the way that it should be done. So it's not just that a vision was put into place, which is Vision 2030. Also an action plan for that to happen has been put into place via these 11 vision realization programs, focusing on, so over 50% of the focus of these programs is on identifying suitable talent, developing those suitable talent, putting them into place into these industry sectors that have just been recently developed to deliver on Vision 2030. So simply put, it's developing the required skill set, supporting them as well to build this pipeline of future leaders for our growing business markets. And I think, you know, this is a best in class, if I may say, example of how it should be done to answer your question. I think we need to have a balance of both, right? These questions have been asked since the 70s, and then once again more so in the 90s, and then post the millennium. For sure, we have moved more into digitization. More digitization tools are now in place, such as chatbots, so on and so forth. Artificial intelligence is something that we cannot undermine and should not be undermined, especially in 2023 and going forward. However, from my perspective, I honestly believe that you must place the focus on both areas. You need to develop your talent, your organizational talent, to make sure that they are apt to working with artificial intelligent tools. This applies for the existing talent. When you're selecting new talent into the organization, you should not undermine at all their technical capabilities. You need to ensure that part of your assessment process for hiring new talent involves assessing their digital capabilities, their understanding of the concept of digitization, their creativity, level of creativity of ensuring or identifying or developing ways that we can digitize our current way of working, because the new ways of working for the future for sure require digitization. So for example, within my area of human capital management, we have launched a number of different ways where we can simplify processes by ensuring that we digitize them. So when I'm selecting talent for any career opportunities within my area, I ensure that they are apt within that field. the majority of our daily processes across all functions now, there's a focus to digitize. Also across our 8 business verticals, which I mentioned earlier, we are ensuring that we introduce new tools and methodologies for our customers, so that our customers can order their cars or order their spare parts or get their service through smartly developed apps. And we are also focusing on this in not only within Saudi Arabia and not only within our Middle East service areas. We're also applying the same focus within our services in India and in Malaysia and the other countries where we operate, and also in Egypt. Once again, is it simply answered? Can we say that the future remains with humans or with technology? I would say it's a mix of both. We need to be able to hire the right humans that can manage a high level of technological innovation that we will be introducing over the coming years.